Hey everybody, welcome back to the Planeswalker Coach channel. I'm your host, Paladin Robin. Folks, thank you for joining us today to watch this video that we put out. This video is one where we're talking about Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. But before we get into the Planeswalker review, I want to thank Webcore. Webcore has been great to us. They've given this Planeswalker to us so we can do this video and that you guys can be informed. And really, that's just a great thing. You guys can decide for yourself after all the information whether this one is for you or not. All right, so thank you again, Webcore. You guys have been awesome to us as usual. All right, so let's get into this Planeswalker review here. This is Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. You can see him on your screen. The first thing I want to point out are these life points here. We got 116. That's a little bit on the low side just because this Planeswalker is one that's going to take a while to develop. You'll see a lot of Planeswalkers that are really strong or that have an ability here that's super strong. And, you don't really need to have a lot of life points for a Planeswalker like that. This one is not so much that way, right? This one is a Planeswalker where you don't have a dominant ability. You have to actually kind of work your way towards building these abilities up to make it really strong. And really, that's kind of the drawback of this particular Planeswalker. This one is going to start slow, and you're going to have the right cards. If you don't have the right cards, this is going to be a tough Planeswalker for you to build with, okay? So just keep that in mind. 116 is a little low for that style of a Planeswalker. Let's take a look at these mana bonuses. We got +5 for the blue and the black. We got -2 for the white and the green. And then we have a +2 here for the red. I like this kind of a little bit of a spread. It can be really helpful to have spreads like this. Anyway, let's take a look at these abilities. The first one is Ninja Technique, Fallen Leaves. Surveil 3, then draw a card. Create a Kaito Shadow Clone token. All right. I'll show you what the Kaito Shadow Clone is. This is what it is. It's a token legendary creature. It's got hexproof. When this creature deals combat damage to your opponent's Planeswalker, if this creature has 1 or more reinforcements, gain 2 loyalty. Then if this creature has 4 or more reinforcements, this creature's base power and toughness become 3/4. So this is an interesting one. I think this is one that's a little bit on the weaker side. As I mentioned, we don't have any abilities here that are just completely dominant. With this ability, I do like the Shadow Clone. The problem with the Shadow Clone is you're going to have to reinforce it 4 times, right? So that's a total of 5 of these on the board. And for you to hit this ability, it's going to cost you 9. And for you to hit it 5 times, that's going to be a lot of points, right? So that's going to be something that maybe not possible in a lot of games. All right, so you're probably going to want to have to play this one with cards like Akul, the Unrepentant. If you can get Akul down, Akul's going to help you a lot because that's going to help you to reinforce every creature that comes out on your side of the board. All right, so play Akul, then hit this ability. The Kaito Shadow Clone will come out and then reinforce it, right? So you get that 2 for 1. You need to have 4 reinforcements. You're going to have 1 already just by playing this one with Akul, right? So that's going to help a lot. What I would also do is play this one with Hulking Metamorph. That's a good one. That's going to help you reinforce your Kaito Shadow Clone. That's also going to give it a good buff. I would also try Fleeting Reflection. That's a good one that gives you that reinforcement as well. If you can get this reinforcement up to 4, that's really what you want. That's how you're going to be able to make some good use out of this Kaito Shadow Clone. Without it, it's kind of hard to revolve decks around it. It's not super dominant, as I said. All right, the thing that I like about this particular first ability is this Surveil, right? If you are familiar with Surveil, you'll kind of know what this is. Basically, you'll take a look at the top 4 cards of your library, and you'll be able to take 3, because 3 is the Surveil amount here. You'll be able to take 3 and throw them into the graveyard, right? So you can get rid of them, and that'll leave you with the 1 that you have left over. So that's really a good part of this ability. I think it's going to help you to cycle through the cards that you have in your deck and then get rid of the ones that you don't want. It's going to help you to draw your cards faster is really what it is. And speaking of draw, it does give you the extra draw. So what you probably would do is surveil the cards, right? Take 3 that you don't want, and the one that you do want, you leave that one, and then you'll be able to draw that here because of this ability. So this is probably the best parts of this ability. The Kaito Shadow Clone, a little weak. It's not really the best part of this ability. Okay, so let's take a look again. This next one Ninja technique: wins a change. Destroy target opposing creature. The first card in your hand gains 6 mana. Then you get to create the Kaito Shadow Clone again. I think the best part of this ability is to destroy the opposing creature. This is kind of a helpful thing. It sometimes will help you because you don't have to have an extra spell card in your hand or in your library that destroys opposing creatures. You can just use this. So that does help. The gain 6 mana is also very useful. And again, the Kaito Shadow Clone, it can be useful, but you have to reinforce it a bunch. And that takes some time, or it takes the right amount of cards, or the right certain cards that you need. And without that, it's pretty difficult. Okay, Ninja technique: Puppy Steps. This one gives you a 2/2 buff for your creatures. They gain unblockable as well. And it says opposing creatures gain stun counter 1. Then you get to create the Kaito Shadow Clone again. Again, like I said, with the Kaito Shadow Clone, if you're gonna try to build this one up, you're gonna have to get it at least 4 reinforcements. The best way to do that is use ACOL. If you have ACOL, that's gonna help so much. Again, Fleeting Reflection is gonna be something important that you can use, and that's gonna help you to get this one reinforced multiple times in order for it to just have that ability there that's gonna help you. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck that I built. This is a deck that revolves around reinforcements and drawing cards here. And you'll see the deck right here. This deck is called Kaito Ninja Stars. This one I like. It's an interesting deck, but it kind of goes with the theme of the Ninja Stars, where those throwing stars that you see in the movies. The way I set that up will be Knowledge is Power, right? It says when you draw a card during your turn, reinforce each creature you control until the end of turn, then gain 2 mana. I'm going to use that with Fairy Miscreant. This is a nice little combo, a 2-card combo. It goes infinite until your hand is pretty much full. And that's one way that I'm going to just try to bulk up these creatures that I have, but then also send a lot of damage at the opponent. This is how we get those Ninja Stars going. All right, we'll use the Knowledge is Power and the Fairy Miscreant, right? Fairy Miscreant, if you haven't read it, if you're not familiar with this one, it says when this creature is reinforced, draw a card. That's going to create the infinite loop with the Knowledge is Power. Obviously, we'll draw a card. This one will be reinforced. It gets reinforced because Knowledge is Power reinforces a creature, well, all of your creatures, when you draw a card. Because this one was reinforced, you'll draw a card again. That will trigger this one again, because when you draw a card, you reinforce your creatures. That's going to trigger this one again, which is going to trigger this one again, which is going to trigger this one again, on and on until the hand is full. And then at the end of the turn, what you'll notice is you have this creature down. This one is getting a reinforcement as well. All right. And at the end of the turn, you're going to lose all your reinforcements, right? Because it says here, reinforce until the end of the turn. When the end of the turn comes around, this guy's going to lose his reinforcements. And it says here, when this creature dies or loses a reinforcement, your opponent loses X life. X is the mana value of the last card in your hand if that card is a spell card against full mana. So what we're hoping for is a big card that's going to have a big casting cost in the hand at the end of the turn. So when this one starts losing those reinforcements, if it's a card like this, it's got 16, then it'll do 16 damage every time you lose a reinforcement. So that's going to do a ton of damage. That's the Ninja Star action there, flying at the opponent. Okay, so let's take a look. We have some interesting cards in here. Dihada and Teferi, these two Vanguards, super important for helping us to draw the combo. Because once we get the combo, it's pretty much over. But the problem is we got to draw that combo fast. And this is a slow developing combo. Once you have it, game over, but it takes a while, right? So that's why I got 2 over here. Got some other cards here for some really good defense. And really, that's all we're going to try to do. Play some good defense until we hit the combo. Okay, let's take a look at some gameplay. With this deck, obviously, what we're going to try to do is hit that combo. The faster we get that combo out, the better it will be for us. So we got to try to get that going really quickly. All right, Teferi is good. This is going to help us pull the cards that we need for the combo. Hitotsugu and Kairi, that's part of the combo. So that's really good. That's going to help us out. All right, let's see if we can get the combo going fast. Because if we can, this one is going to be over. Here's another Hitotsugu. Oh, some blue cascades. There we go. There's another part of the combo, the Fairy Miscreant. Tell you what, we'll put it like this, and we'll turn these ones off for now. And at this point, what I'm kind of hoping for is a nice big cascade. There's a part of the cascade, and there's another part. Very cool. Got lucky there. Sometimes with these cascades, you kind of just got to play the odds that you're going to hit one. And just put yourself in a good position to make those matches that will allow for the cascade. Okay. You can see the opponent is probably going to be using Oswald and trying to get a lot of those tokens down. Once those tokens are destroyed, Oswald's going to get a buff going. Tell you what, we will go with Teferi. Then we'll start hitting this displacement wave because that's a nice one to kind of play some defense. Teferi's out. All right, what I'm hoping for is Knowledge is Power. None yet, but I'll tell you what, we'll go with Mock Sapphire. That's going to help us to make sure we get stuff going quickly. And so I'm kind of looking at it. I want to go with the reds. There's my Mock Sapphire. Okay, we're looking for that last piece of the puzzle. We're looking for Knowledge is Power. If we can get that, we're going to have some damage just flying at the opponent. The Ninja Star damage, as I was talking about. There you go. You see the opponent getting the buff, right? That buff is kind of a nasty buff. If you're familiar with Oswald there, that's a nasty one. Oswald's really good with cards, kind of like Novel back in the day, because he just throws down a ton of those tokens, and when you destroy those tokens, you can see a big buff coming. Right, Dihada. I'm going to hit that displacement wave, and then let's see what we can do. Knowledge is Power, Knowledge is Power. No Knowledge is Power yet. Alright, we'll go with Fairy Miscreant. Okay, and at this point, tell you what, I'm looking around, and I kind of want to put this one here. Go with this. There we go. Return the opponent's creatures. There we go. Get some defense going. All right, we've protected ourselves really nicely with that defensive move there. Oswald doesn't have the buff anymore. Oswald doesn't have the, well, it's not even on the board anymore, so that's good. There's my Knowledge is Power. All right. I'm thinking if we play our cards correctly here, we may be able to win it on this turn. That's kind of one of those things about this deck. It's a deck that's got a lot of strengths. It needs to be built up correctly. If you can get the combo going, as it looks like we will probably have here, if you can get the combo going, you're going to be doing a ton of damage. So let's see. I wonder if we can win it on this turn. It really depends on the cards that we're able to draw. So let's see it. I'm hoping that gives us what we want there. Okay, Knowledge's Power is in. Iritsugu is going to be doing our damage for us. And you can see we're getting the buffs. That's going to be pulling cards into hand. And nice. Knowledge's Power is that last card. That's huge. That's huge. The reason it's huge is because that casting cost is monstrous. It's a big fat 20 casting cost. I tell you what, I'm not even going to hit this. And then you'll see 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 again. That's big. Those are those ninja stars. I love it, guys. That's cool. That's so cool. That's the strength of this deck, right? We're just loading the enemy down with those ninja stars. Those big pieces of damage just flying. That's so cool. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you what, this one is over next turn. They're gonna have to do something. Okay, very cool. We're gonna go Fleeting Reflection. Ah, I love it. Knowledge is Power. That's cool. All right, we'll get rid of these cards here. Obviously, because we're going to want to load up the hand. Once we load up the hand, we're going to be able to do that damage again. Okay, and let's see if we can get something cool. Yeah, we'll go with this. And I tell you what, we'll hit this. The reason we hit this, not so much because we want that Kaito Shadow Clone, but because we want to draw the card, right? If you draw that card, that's going to be awesome because it's going to it's gonna start to trigger the Fairy Miscreant Knowledge is Power combo again. Very cool. And you can see they're getting their buffs, getting strong. And then there we are here, pulling in some more of those reinforcements. Alright, at this point, we're going to get rid of Fairy Miscreant. And I think we'll go with this. All we're doing right now, guys, is we're looking to get these guys going. Make sure that they have that super cool reinforcement. There we go. This is going to set up that reinforcement again. There we go. There's that amazing combo, right? The Knowledge is Power, Fairy Miscreant. That's really helping to buff that one. And you'll see what's going on where, 14 is the last casting cost. That's really cool. We're going to get these guys buffed up, and they're going to attack. This guy's going to block, and we're going to be able to win this game just with those ninja stars at the end. All right, they're going to lose. There we go. Losing the reinforcement, hitting him with the ninja star. Very cool. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. That really helps the channel. Good gaming, guys.